You know, the 2010 season was especially a neat season for a couple reasons. One, we had just improved the habitat on my farm. Put some warm season grasses in, some millet, really neat stuff was growing all over the place. And the second reason was because I had a chance to hunt with a bear attack. I mean, it's an unbelievable bow when I shot it at targets, but I couldn't wait to get after the deer with it. We had been watching a couple deer. One in particular was a buck we named No Score. We call him No Score because for the last couple years, he's been on his way down. He was that old a buck, big old heavy buck. And so we headed out to the Green Hornet that evening. Got all set up, and there, I'd say it's probably around 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock. Joe said, "You're not going to believe it, here comes No Score." You know, and I look out the window and I'm watching him. He's just feeding along and he's looking across the field at the other deer, and I'm getting all set up because any minute now he might be within bow range. I was really excited.
If he starts to move this way, I think the best, I don't know which window you're gonna film out of, but there's that one in the middle might serve best because I'm gonna pop this window open here in just a second. Okay, here he comes, Get ready. Get behind me. Don't come over. Huh? Yeah, I got him. Watch him. Looks like I drilled his last rib. He was walking, so I couldn't steady, but I think I got him right through the last rib. That's an old buck. We've been calling him No Score because he's an old buck that you can't go by his score, you gotta go by his age. You know, bucks like that don't come easy. It's a big old smart buck.
Man, what a way to start the season. We finally got an arrow into No Score. We call him No Score because 2 years ago, I tried to kill him and he was a 10-pointer. Last year, I tried to kill him and he was a 9-pointer. This year, we finally got an arrow into him and he's a 7-pointer. Big old stud buck, just an old animal, pretty neat. But what's also neat is the performance of my attack. Man, you know, so often when you shoot a buck, you kind of almost gauge, I gotta aim a little bit low because they hear the bow and they have time to react. The attack is so quiet and so quick that the buck didn't even blink and the arrow had already gone through him. It was pretty neat. I mean, I'd shot targets with it up to this point, but couldn't wait to shoot a buck. Finally did, and it did everything I wanted a bow to do. Then a week later, we head out to the Ranger and had an encounter with a buck we named Busy. We named him Busy because it was a tight rack buck, split G2, split G3, real tall brow tines that were so tall they looked like regular tines on his main beams. And had him close. Actually, we had him at one point at like 15 yards, and Joe called me off of him because it was too dark. There was not enough camera light. We came back out about 2, maybe 3 days later, and I'd say about maybe an hour before dark, there he was. Busy steps out of the millet and challenges 2 or 3 bucks that were right there feeding. And then he goes down the line. He's coming right down the line. He grabs a hold of some millet and just starts thrashing it. Man, I was getting really excited because when that millet was flying back and forth, my blood was pumping. So he comes down the line, and I'm thinking, a few more steps and we're going to be in position to shoot this buck. And I kind of creak. We have a window there. Kind of creak the window open a little bit and start getting ready. And any time now it could happen.
I think it was a good hit. Of course, you never know because a lot of times deer move, do different things when you shoot, but boy, it just looked like it was tucked right behind the shoulder. He went over there to the edge of the woods and he staggered a little bit, but he stood for a little while, a little longer than I thought he should stand. So, I don't know, maybe we'll just We'll just wait a while and back out of here when it gets dark.
It was October 15th, and we were tagged out 2 big bucks on the ground in less than 2 weeks. The bear attack performed flawlessly. I mean, it zipped through the second buck the way it zipped through the first buck. They didn't even know what hit them. The new bulls are coming out from bear, and if they're anything like this bear attack, watch out, man. It's going to be bad.